Hey guys, happy Friday. So I am on my way home from my hair appointment. I worked today until about 3 and then I had my hair appointment, so it's like 6:30 right now, heading home. And I just want to do my weekly check-in and weigh-in video and kind of talk to you guys about what my plan is for next week. And I know my last check-in video was not very positive, but I honestly just don't know what's going on with my body. But I am so very appreciative of your guys' comments, your emails. You guys have just been so amazing. And one thing that really just blows my mind is how much you guys remember what I tell you, you know? And it's like so many of you remembered that I have a thyroid issue and that maybe some of these problems I'm having has to do with my thyroid. Because I can, you know, it's like several times through my journey, I have been able to honestly say that I am being completely honest with my journey, you know, completely honest about what I'm tracking, what I'm doing, the, you know, workouts, all that stuff. And this is one of those times. I mean, you guys know I was ready for this year when it started and I was putting all in. And it's nothing is more frustrating than when you're putting everything all in and you're not getting any results. And I feel like there is something going on. Now, I do know that stress is a huge part of it. And I keep asking myself, and it's something I posted in the Facebook group, could stress honestly affect a person's body this much? And maybe it can. I don't know. You know, and it's not stress that's going to go away. So I feel like I need to figure out how to work around the stress is what I need to do. Since the stress isn't going to go away, I need to be able to work around it and be able to find other outlets than letting it bottle up inside of me. But there are a lot of ideas you guys had, but it seemed like the general consensus, which I didn't want to make it seem like I was going to quit, you know, and quit Weight Watchers and quit doing this and all that. I did not mean that, and I don't know if it came across that way because I had so many of you that said, I don't think quitting is the answer. I don't think taking any time off is the answer. And actually, I think what I said in the video is I had other people tell me at one time, just take a break, step away from, you know, Weight Watchers, step away from tracking, step away. And I think I remember making a comment in the video saying that I knew I couldn't do that because I was definitely not in a place where I could walk away from it, because I feel like that's been part of the problem back in the latter part of 2018, between October and December. That was really the big part of the problem, was I did kind of step back. But when I came starting in January, I have been all in. I mean, all in, especially February. And February is probably one of my worst months. So I think I just really need, well, actually, no, March is now shaping up to definitely be one of the worst months. But anyway, so I was reading all your comments and I realized, you know, even though on the surface, I don't feel like I'm having all the same symptoms that I've ever had when my thyroid's off. And because weight gain was never really one of my symptoms, but maybe being hard to lose weight could have been one of my symptoms. My main symptoms always have been, I always kind of felt off and kind of felt like foggy, kind of brain fog, and kind of like, oh, I would get super cold all the time, which I'm cold all the time anyway, but I mean, it would be extremely cold. I would be extremely tired. And I started thinking about it, and it's like, yes, I could be having some of those symptoms, but I was thinking, okay, so are some of these things that I'm feeling maybe could be my thyroid? So I called my doctor's office and I talked to the nurse and I told her, you know, kind of what's been going on. And, you know, they know that I've lost a lot of weight, and they know how much I've lost, and they know what I'm doing as far as my food and everything. And she said, have you changed anything? And I said, no. And so I said, I think I just need to get a thyroid test because it has been a year now since I've had it. And so she's like, okay, well, I'll see if I'll ask him to put the order in for you. So then I go to, so she's like, just go ahead and come on in the morning on your way to work, because they open at 7, and that way you can just get your blood drawn and go on to work. So I showed up. Well, unfortunately, all the computers were down, and so they couldn't pull up my lab order, and they couldn't do anything at all. So I just left that morning. Well, then later on that afternoon at lunchtime, I got a phone call from the doctor's office, and she was like, you know, he really wants you to come in and see him, and he'll go ahead and put the order in, but more than likely, unless something is super off, he probably won't talk about the results until you come in for your doctor's appointment. And she said because he also might want to order some other labs following your doctor's appointment, depending on after he talks to you and finds out, you know, maybe there's something else going on. So I said, okay, well, let me make an appointment. And so I was like, well, how about next week? Because I have next week off. And she says, no, we're like 4 weeks out. So, and I didn't have my schedule with me. And so I need to call and make the appointment. I tried calling today, but their computers were down. They got a new computer system. And so now their computers keep shutting down. And so they just got them. Like I went in on Tuesday, Wednesday. Today's Friday. Went in Wednesday was the day I did all this. And their computers were down when I called yesterday. And then today I was so swamped because I wanted to get everything off my desk before spring break next week. So I did not get a chance to call. So I'm going to call them Monday morning and get my appointment made, but it won't be until like the 3rd week of April. So that's super frustrating that I have to wait till then. So I'm gonna go get my blood drawn though for sure Monday before I head out of town. We're going to Trader Joe's on Monday, so I'm excited about that. But before we leave town, I'm gonna go get my blood drawn, and so I'm praying that if he sees my thyroid is off, because that's the only lab that he's ordering right now is just my thyroid lab before he runs any other things he wants to talk to me. So I'm hoping that if he sees my thyroid is off, that at least he'll call me and talk to me about it, or at least call me and like prescribe something until I can get into the doctor's appointment. And actually I may request that when I go in there and say, hey, since it's, you know, that since you're so far out with booking, can you just put a note in there for him to contact me, or a nurse to contact me and let me know about my thyroid results, and then I can just start the medication before I go in there and see him. And then that way I'll know too, if it starts feeling better, then maybe that was what it was all the time. But in the meantime, I am just going, like I said, this is kind of the stuff that I'm going to work on next week. So I'm not working next week because I have spring break. So I figure it's a good time to really relax, because I think that's part of my issue is stress. Well, I know that a huge part of it is going to be stress. So I think I need to work on some kind of stress relieving activities. So I want to get back into reading again, because I have been so into podcasts that's really been taking over like my time that I used to read. And so, but oh my goodness, podcasts are I'm just so into them right now. But I want to get back into reading because I think that would be a great relief for stress. And I also am going to start working out again. I kind of stopped mainly because I wanted to see if possibly any of the weight gain was from working out so much, because I went from pretty much not working out at all. And a lot of these workouts that I'm doing on Daily Burn are like strength. I'm using a lot of weights, and I have a muscle ball now that I'm using, and I have 5-pound weights and 7-pound weights that I'm using, and the muscle ball, is that what they call it? Muscle ball, exercise ball, whatever it is. I think it's also 7 pounds or 5 pounds. I'm not sure, but so I am definitely going to start working out again next week. I'll have plenty of time, so no excuse, that's for sure. But I was doing it anyway in the mornings before work, so I'm not going to have an issue, I don't think, with any of those excuses. I just purposely stopped doing it this week to see if it would help, and it didn't. I actually gained like 0.6 this week, so another 0.6 on top. It's like 6.6 pounds or something in this last like 4 weeks. Okay, so the things that I'm really going to focus on this next week, I'm going to take advantage of not working, and I am just going to kind of just figure out some stress relieving activities. I think one of the things that is really going to help for sure is decluttering my house, because I feel like I live right now in chaos. It's just like, I think when I get super stressed out, different chaotic things like really get to me. And like there's things like my closet, I have a lot of drawers with paper in them that I need to just go through. So I am going to be doing a huge decluttering thing next week, and I think that'll help really with my stress too. I'm going to go back to working out. I am going to just relax when it comes to thinking about food. I feel like I think about food way too much. I think about what I'm going to eat. I feel like I'm constantly trying to strategize what I'm gonna eat. You know what I mean? I mean, do you guys, does that make sense? I mean, I feel like I'm always thinking, okay, I have, I ate this morning, and so this is this many points, this is this many points, and I feel like it's just a strategy game. And I still want to track points. I'm not saying that. I still want to keep within my points, but I need to do it in a way where I don't feel stressed about it, and I don't feel like I am, I don't know, like playing, trying to like make a puzzle fit. I don't know if that makes any sense. Hopefully that's making sense. So that is kind of what I want to look at. But I'm also going to do some double tracking, and I think I talked about this in last week's video, because I think what I had done was talk to you guys a little bit about this on Wednesday, and then kind of talked about it on Friday a little bit. And I think I'm just going to do some double tracking, and I did that a little bit this week just to see what it would look like, and it's amazing. It's eye-opening. Like, I am barely hitting 1,000 calories, even though I'm hitting anywhere between 23 to 26 points. And then I thought, okay, so then I was thinking, okay, am I not, because that was one of the things I was worried about, because I had quite a few people tell me, maybe lower your points a little bit, because people notice I usually hit anywhere between 18 to 23 points, or 18 to 21 is real typical of my day. Now they said, well, maybe lower just a little bit, but still stay within the blue dot range. And so I thought, first I want to start double tracking a little bit and seeing how that works out. And when I did that, it was really eye-opening to see that there were some days, on the days that I was hitting 23 points, 25 points, and I was like 1,024 calories. I was 943 calories one day. So it really is eye-opening to see that, to see how many calories that you are having. And so I think it's going to be really important for me to make sure I am hitting my calories, because it is not healthy for anyone to be eating 900 and 1,000 calories. And I think one of the things that people get really confused about when they go on MyFitnessPal is it automatically defaults to 1,200 calories. And I know just from experience for my body, I'm not saying anybody else's body, I just know with my body, when I did counting calories and macros before I started Weight Watchers and I was consistently losing weight, it was because I ate anywhere between 1,400 to 1,600 calories and I hit all my macros. You can do there's calculators out there that can tell you how many calories you should be eating to eating at a deficit from what your body actually needs to stay alive. And that's what I've done. And usually mine is set right about 1,529 calories is what it says I should eat. And that's a deficit. And it based on your activity levels, based on your weight, and then you just figure out your macros from there. So one of the ways that makes it easier for me to double track, because I know a lot of people are just like, oh, double tracking sucks. And double tracking sucks. I will agree with that. It's kind of time consuming, especially when you work like me and you don't have a lot of time, or you have little ones running around, and the last thing you want to think about is tracking when you have to go feed your kids and it's nap time and you're trying to hurry up and track, and you're using your entire nap time to track your food. So here's what I do that makes it super simple, is I will try to pre-track as much as I can, and that's on both apps. So when I do have time, so usually for me it's Sunday, and I will just sit down and I will track everything I can think of that I know for sure I will be eating. So usually I have a meal plan, so I can, come up with I can use my meal plan to kind of track out what I'm having. Usually the easiest thing to first track is my breakfast and lunches, and then also I track all my coffee creamer, any fruits and vegetables I know I'm going to have for snacks. I will just go through the entire week on my Weight Watcher app and on MyFitnessPal, and I will track everything that I know for sure that I'm going to have, just to get it out of the way, because you can always take it off later. Putting it on usually is more of a pain than taking it off. That's another tip right there too. So also another thing I do, if I don't have a recipe that is not already built into MyFitnessPal, I will go ahead and build that recipe, and I'll do that ahead of time as well. So MyFitnessPal though is much easier for building recipes than the recipe builder on Weight Watchers, in the way that you can just import a recipe and then you can just adjust the ingredients from there, and that's what I do. So definitely a lot easier on there. So but I'll go ahead and do that ahead of time, so that way it's all done, and it just makes it a lot, it's pretty quick if you do it all that way. So I'm gonna do that. I just kind of played around with it this last week, but I'm gonna do it all in this next week for sure. I'm gonna do that on Sunday. I'm gonna go ahead and track everything for the week. Now I do have a couple days I don't know what's gonna be on my meal plan, since I am going into going north to the town that Trader Joe's is in. And so I'm gonna plan like 2 meals that I'm just gonna call them Trader Joe's meals. And I actually have a kind of a fun video that I'm gonna be doing with my Trader Joe's foods that I pick up. I kind of thought of a fun video. I will of course be doing a Trader Joe's haul, but then I have another video that I'm gonna be doing. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of let you guys know what was going on and what my plan was for the week. I gotta stop and get my mail. So I just wanted to let you guys know that is my plan for the week. I'm gonna double track. I'm gonna do my workouts. I am going to really think about de-stressing and think of some, you know, low stress activities. And I'm gonna do a lot of filming next week, and I really think it's gonna help with my mood, because filming makes me happy. Creating videos for you guys makes me happy. I have a ton of videos coming your way over the next several weeks because I get the chance to film them all. This is my my new Julian Bakery granola that I haven't tried this flavor yet. This is the vanilla cinnamon, so I can't wait to try that. So anyway, I just got that. I literally yesterday ran out of my espresso one. Been eating that like several times a week. It's so good. I may go back to intermittent fasting. I don't know. We'll see. I think I'm just gonna kind of eat when I'm hungry, that type of thing, instead of really restricting myself when it comes to that thing. I'm just going to try to be more relaxed about all this stuff and not let it get to my head, because I know that's what is going on, and I think I just need to quit worrying about the weight gain. If I know what I'm doing, then eventually I will find out when I go to the doctor. If there's something medical wrong, I will find out, but I know right now I think it's just stress. I think it's mental and all that, but I will figure it out, and you guys are helping me along the way. You're being so inspiring and motivating, and I appreciate it so much. So I look forward to so many videos next week and talking to you guys, and I'll be on Instagram a lot more since I'll be home. And I'm going to do a lot of decluttering, which I will be filming that because a ton of people tell me they wanted to see that, so you guys will see that too. So I will see you guys all very soon. Have a fantastic weekend, and I'll talk to you later. Bye guys.